Gio dos Santos, 11% of the vote. Michael Bradley, 10. Again, overrated. I think you'll see a theme with these guys. Josie Altidore, 7. And that's also the number for Gyasi Zardes will go on. But I mean, obviously the top...
Percent,
10%, 11%, 10%, 7%, 7%. And obviously the top three, the first thing that comes to mind is overrated compared to what? Compared to the fact they make a ton
lot of money. Yeah.
All right, Gyasi, not so much. And then Paul Arriola, Benny Feilhaber. That's, I mean...
Tim Howard.
That may be a little bit more performance based on what players are seeing. Tim Howard.
You want to go through the whole list really quick?
All right, Tim Howard, 4%. Breck Shea, 4%. We might as well leak all the information. Juan Agudelo, 3%. As did Alejandro Bedoya, Darlington Nagbe, Nemanja Nikolic. Dom Dwyer has 2%, and then others had 12%. No answer? 21%?
So
what is that? I don't know. Surely have one.
Hold on. 104 players were surveyed.
Okay, then we should wipe out the 21 there and get new 21 who's going to pick somebody. What do you mean no answer?
Hey, what immediately...
Don't start with me.
What immediately jumped out at you? Overrated.
Look, I mean, I expected Giovanni just because he's high profile. Like, he's always on the thing. So that he hasn't produced. Some injuries. Michael Bradley and Josie make a ton of money. Gyasi Zardes at 7% surprised me.
Really?
I mean, the ones that surprised me. I'm not surprised at the top three. And it's not that they're overrated. It's just because they make a lot of money and they're all over the place.
So let me fill people in. A lot of times when these things are...
Paul Arriola at 6%.
Hold on. When these things are being asked, it's preseason. They get you during some sort of preseason game, preseason training session. So people don't know about the Gyasi Zardes great 3 weeks. Went back then.
Yeah.
They're going off Gyasi Zardes, my first touch is terrible, of old, that he had one goal.
Okay, thank you.
You know, they're going off of those things. So that doesn't surprise me. Nemanja Nikolic led the league in goals. Nemanja Nikolic led the league in goals. Do you MLS players watch your own league?
And nobody knew who he was before. That's a good answer.
Does he make $7 million a year? Stupid do you have to be to put him on this list?
So we could say roughly like 5 guys put him on the list.
Why?
Maybe that's why the other guys no answered.
Like, who do you have to be to put Nemanja Nikolic? Nemanja Nikolic.
Maybe it was that. Oh, it wasn't the interview we did with him because that was after
He
the.
rocks. He scores goals for the Chicago Fire. Are you kidding me? You put him on this list. All right, so you said it yourself. Giovani doesn't really surprise us because he makes like, what, $5 million a year?
Yeah.
He's been injured.
He's the poster boy of the
Galaxy have been terrible. He hasn't done well himself. So a lot of people see more marketing than on-the-field production. That doesn't surprise us. Michael Bradley, his market only exists in MLS. No other league in the world or other team in the world will pay him $6.5 million. So people equate his salary to what he does.
Still a great player.
Still a great player. That you don't want anything to do with the national team.
Not this national team coming up.
I think he still has a place. You don't. I think he's a good player.
Maybe now, not.
The problem is,
years.
we equate him with the salaries here. That's the problem. You're right about that, Max. You look at the salary and you're like, overrated. MLS is such a unique beast when it comes to comparing salaries. Because these 104, you probably didn't have every single DP voting in these 104. I guarantee you, these 104 were probably all non-DPs. And then another one jumped out at me is Paul Arriola.
That's one, jump for me, because that's a high number. That's twice as many as Nikolic, which probably shouldn't have had any, but...
Paul Arriola is a certain type of player that in Major League Soccer, because of what he makes, has been categorized into this TAM or DP player, so you expect more of. That's just world's market, and they're giving him a different label, and that's why you're saying he's overrated. In the world's market, he probably makes the same, and he's just another player like in the world's market. You equate it because it's Major League Soccer and they give him the TAM label that all of a sudden he has to be in this special production player. Look, listen, that's a U.S. men's national team player coming back, got in at the right moment, who's being paid equivalent to the world's market. That's all it is there. So
that's fair. That's part of the criteria.
Yes.
You can use whatever you want. This is your vote, players.
Yeah, Tim Howard. Listen, no argument. You could. Players are entitled to. He's a goalkeeper who right now may not even be the best goalkeeper on his team. Okay, so that's justifiable. You got the likes of Juan Agudelo, very justifiable. Breck Shea, very justifiable. You know, Bedoya, I respect his work ethic, but the same thing. DP tag,
it's not.
DP tag, you expect more. That's what people equate.
He should be on the list. He should be on the list.
You think so? Why?
Because he gets.
Why do you hate Alejandro?
I don't know Alejandro Bedoya, but if he's certainly probably on the list ahead of some other guys because of the DP tag, because he's playing for a team and he hasn't delivered in a bigger sample size than usually is.
This is where these players get confused. They're equating the DP tag, the TAM tag means something different.
Yeah, but there's a focus on him. Alejandro's going to be the guy who can push this Philadelphia team, and right now that team hasn't moved.
Get a grip.
Stuck in the mud.
Get a grip.
Want to go to underrated?
Yeah. By the way, Nemanja Nikolic on there is mind-blowing.
Maybe they looked
ashamed
at his
of yourself,
goals.
MLS
Maybe the players looked at his goals and go, I could do that. Maybe there's a little tap in here, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of goals.
Great guy too, by the way.
Yes, he was just a bundle of joy.
He's awesome.
Let's go have a drink, a coffee.
You know what? He should have been at your going away party, and I would have never said anything to Tim or Mike.
You're right. My bad, folks. Let's go to underrated, where it's a little more tightly packed. So, as I pointed out, Gio dos Santos and Michael Bradley, a healthy amount of the vote in the overrated. Underrated, Ignacio Piatti, 7%. No problem with that.
Read 'em out.
Max McCarty, 6. Darlington Nagbe, 5. Christian Roldan, 5. Will Trapp, 5. Elias Sanchez, 4. Joe Bendick, 3. There you go, Timmy. Albert Rusnak, 3. Scott Caldwell, Sam Cronin, Sasha Kleshtin, Chad Marshall, Justin Morrow, Jonathan Osorio, Kellen Rowe, Jefferson Savarino, Victor Vasquez, all with 2. No answer 10, so 10 people did not, 11 more people did not
Don't take the survey if you're not going to answer.
Don't take the survey if you're not going to answer.
Just automatically say no.
Don't take it.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to beat you to the punch here. And obviously there's a perception thing with Will Trapp. Because
I wasn't going to bring anything up about
Will Trapp. Good player, but even though he's getting national team run,
it's percent of people.
He's doing still people viewed as underrated talent. A guy who's not percent of people. I got it. It's a percentage.
Listen, Sam Cronin's on here as well. Will Trapp and Sam Cronin are Pokemon versions of each other.
But Will Trapp is in the bloodstream. We know who he is.
Every team has a player like that.
Ignacio Piatti.
Who's underrated, by the way.
Ignacio Piatti, we know who he is, but playing at Montreal, we don't see him enough. Here in the United States, we don't see him.
Yeah, Ignacio Piatti for the last 3 or 4
But when you do, you're blown away.
He's been the top 3 or 4 players in the league easily for me. There's no better player.
So then that's a good number 1.
There is no better player running a counterattack in the league than Ignacio El Nacho Man Piatti.
Christian Roldan, Dax McCarty, they're not, they are known. They're known quantities.
No, they're
high at the top. They're underrated. I think
By the way,
know what we get from Dax. That's a lot.
Dax was the underrated player last year. Dax underrated. Christian Roldan underrated. Again, this is salary based. Now, on the overrated, we did not mention Darlington Nagbe. He was on that list.
Yeah.
Darlington Nagbe comes in 3rd on the underrated. This is my... Are you watching Major League Soccer MLS players? Darlington Nagbe was wined and dined and flown on a private jet.
Yeah.
Record amount of
Not underrated.
money, and then paid over $1 million
I don't reference
to be a luxury piece player.
There are 3 or 4 moments in Major League Soccer that I reference with regularity. David Beckham getting bad chicken at the Sheraton Braintree, which changed the hotel policy for Major League Soccer forever. I always bring that story up. And Darlington Nagbe getting on a private jet from Atlanta United.
When does that ever happen?
I always use that as a mark. Things are changing in this league.
You know what that shows me? These players who got interviewed are idiots.
Whoa! You have been burying the leads here in every segment, man.
Are you serious? The league? No, I love the league.
No, you lead. You've been burying the lead because I ask you this, and you give me this massive answer to everything that it could be published on ESPN FC.
Are you serious? Darlington Nagbe's underrated.
Wow. Talking to you, MLS players.
You just said he changed the game. The way they wined and dined him changed the game, now he's underrated. Guess what?
That's a bad answer.
Guess what is underperforming? His stats. That's what's underperforming. Darlington Nagbe is a luxury piece. Darlington Nagbe is a good player, but by no means is he underrated. I think nobody in their proper mind would say he's underrated. Listen, Sasha Kleshtin, yeah, he could be underrated because he put up Pibe-like numbers the last 3 years, and he finally got paid. That's underrated. Sam Cronin, Will Trapp, yeah, they could be underrated. Christian Roldan, Dax McCarty, absolutely.
Roldan, no, he's getting in there. He's becoming a big name.
You know what? But you know what Roldan makes?
All right. Sure.
Underrated.
All right.
Roldan is one of the heartbeats of that Seattle team.
What about my guy Zach Steffen? Not on the list. At least not with 2% at least.
Yeah. Not on the list.
Underrated.
So,
Ryan Russillo used to have a show, a segment, underrated, overrated, properly rated. This is a lot of fun. And maybe I can ask if we could borrow that segment. And it has the voiceover guy going, underrated, overrated, properly rated. Would you like to do that? Can I ask him his blessing? That'd be a funny segment. All right, never mind. We'll leave it at that.
All right.
I'm going to make a paper airplane with this.